Alright guys, today I'm going to be doing my first ever retro RC review. It's been a couple months since I've made a video and I have my reasons. First off, I've been sick for the last couple weeks, and also for the last couple months I've had the next door neighbor from hell, and thank goodness he got his butt kicked out the other day. So I can now make YouTube videos. He was one of those types of neighbors that never slept, he didn't work, he didn't go anywhere, didn't pay any of his bills apparently either. But yeah, he was always outside, and as soon as you'd come outside or he thought you were in the garage, he's banging on the door asking for a handout, and my God, he was so irritating. So, without further ado, today I have for you the Radio Shack Radio Control Lamborghini Racer. And I had this one when I was a kid, not this exact car, because my mom threw out everything I owned on several occasions during my childhood. So I do not have anything from when I was a kid. So, thank goodness for eBay, right? Anyway, you got the box art, you got your little goofy looking, you know, 80s, 90s kid in a stripy shirt who's way too enthusiastic to have his picture taken. Box is in pretty good shape considering its age. I don't see a date on the box itself, so let's get right in and see if we can find one on the car. This car is not by any means mint. It's missing stickers, it's scratched up, it was played with, but it was all I could really find at the time. It's a good looking little car. Now what I would do with this car as a kid, because I loved Back to the Future as a kid. I just absolutely loved that car. I loved the movies. And they didn't have toys back then. They didn't have anything Back to the Future related, just like they didn't have short circuit toys, which technically they still don't. You kind of have to make your own. But yeah, this was basically my little RC time machine. What I did was I unscrewed the rear wing, and I'd use little bits of cardboard and scotch tape to make vents on the back, and use paper clips as little hooks. And you know, it was my little time machine. It was dumb, but it was mine, and I liked it. Let's see, does not appear to be really any writing on the car other than made in Hong Kong. Let's see if we got anything on the remote. I'd love to have a date on here. Wow, we actually have something that has no date. It is a car with no age, but as you can tell by this controller, it is quite old, because they do not make them this way anymore. And yeah, kids don't dress this way anymore. Now, these tires, I always like these tires. They're just the straight line groove tires, but they also have the little knurling on the edge. I drove mine until these little pins fell out when I was a kid, and then my dad put a wood screw through it to keep the wheels on because I lost the pins. But something I don't remember from when I was a kid is these are a one-wheel drive car. This is a freewheel right here, and it's not broken. This is how it's supposed to be. It's a one-wheel drive, which I guess contributes to how well it handled, but yeah, I just thought that was really odd. I do have another oddity that I'm not really going to review. I'll go ahead and throw it in because it's not going to have a video by itself. Because I did find one of these little Toyota remote control cars at Goodwill that is a front-wheel drive, but it's a dual motor front-wheel drive. But I've never found any other standalone front-wheel drive off-the-shelf cars other than this one, which this one is made by, if you want to look, it's made by Shinzai. There you go. Good luck. Anyway, back to the car. Another feature I liked about this car is the red LED on top. It was just cool because you go running through the house at night, through the kitchen, through the hallways. I had a little bit of a tracer going. It was kind of cool. The taillights, I really wish the headlights and taillights lit up on this. But they don't. And for being such a small car, it takes an absurd amount of batteries. Look at that. Not only does it take a 9-volt for the car, it takes one for the remote. And, let's see, what is this? Six AA's? My gosh. And I realized as a kid that it doesn't really need all of the batteries. You can just like put like every other one and it'll work fine. Because they just bridge across. So if you just put one here, and one here, it'll still drive normally. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and throw some batteries in it. I've got some here. Throw a battery in the car. 9-volt. Always use the ribbon because it is a pain in the butt to get it back out if you don't. Anyway, we're going to switch cameras now. Going to switch to this camera because doing this one-handed was too hard. So thank goodness I have 3 cameras, huh? Now, I haven't tested this car in a couple of years, actually. When I got it in, one of the pinion gears inside the steering box had cracked, which happens. The plastic dries out over the years, and yeah, it will fail. The red light appears to be on, so I will close the battery door. Yeah, it's not a very fast car, but as a kid you don't really mind all that much, or at least back in the 90s you didn't. So I probably had this thing like 95, 96, and that was secondhand from my dad's business partner's son. Gave it to me. His name was Bobby. We may have a drive issue. Hang on. Ah, that's working. What I really like about this is it's kind of different from other Tandy products because usually they need you to hit the throttle for it to be able to steer, but you can actually steer it from a standstill. You can tell this hasn't been run in a while because it's kind of glitching a little bit. Let's put it on the floor and see what happens. Alright, let's see how it does. That rear wheel is spinning so bad on this smooth floor. For such a small car, you need a wide area to turn around in. See if we can get a shot of some wheel spin. Alright, well, it's not the fastest thing on 4 wheels, but it's a lot of fun. And I mean, if you were, you know, a kid in 1993, 1994, this would have been pretty damn amusing. This would have been your weekend, other than, you know, video games. I have one last overview of the car itself. Obviously, we're missing stickers on the sides, and the body's a little scratched up. So, yeah, hopefully I can find a car that's in a little bit better shape to put in the box. It's going to be the same megahertz and everything, so my remote will work. So yeah, you got molded marker lights, molded vents, transparent headlights, but there's no bulbs behind them. The wheels are really cool. But look at that tire tread. The really bland, really flat bottom of the car. This thing high centers like crazy. But yeah, you can see why I made this into my DeLorean time machine as a kid. It just kind of looks like one. Tandy number 2. Rally Racing. Countach LP 500S. And then there's obviously the crown jewel of the car, Radio Shack radio control. Something that will be sorely missed in future RC reviews, in my opinion. I didn't even know that Radio Shack was going under. I didn't hear anything about it. I went up to my local Radio Shack to pick up some capacitors for something I was working on. I think I was trying to fix a TV. And it was a Verizon store. I came home and sure enough, every store had closed. So that really sucks. Because that was a place that when my dad was alive, me and him would go to Radio Shack to look at their electronics kits, crystal radios, all the new RC cars. I mean, we'd just completely geek out in there. And I mean, it was something I really wished I could have done with my son. Now that I have one, he'll be 3 around Christmas. He'll turn 3. But I can buy him all the old cars, and I'll play with him. So yeah, and we'll fix him up, and it'll be almost like he's hanging out with his grandpa. So anyway, let me know what you think of the Lamborghini Countach LP 500S RC car by Radio Shack, and also a division of Tandy, Fort Worth, Texas. My goodness. Anyway, let me know what you thought of my retro review. Hopefully my hand wasn't too shaky. Like I said, I've been sick for the past couple weeks, so my hands are not very steady right now. I'm going to do another retro review hopefully soon. I have a Radio Shack off-roader that I'll do a quick unboxing, and we'll drive it around outside because it's no fun driving it around in the shop. There's no room in here. Alright, kids of the 90s, let me know what kind of RC car you had when you were a kid. Now, I'm not talking about going out and getting, like the Bowlink or, Duratrax, all that pro-grade stuff. What kind of store-grade RC car did you grow up with? Did you have a Tyco Bandit? Did you have a whole bunch of Radio Shack RC cars? Let me know in the comment section below. If I've got one, hell, I'll review it next. Why not? Or if it sounds cool enough, maybe I'll buy one. So, alright, one last look at the Countach. Also, let me know your neighbor from hell stories, because I've had a couple of them lately that, man, they're right up there on my top 10 of people I really don't care for. But, yeah, anyway, stay tuned for more as always, and I'll see you guys next time.